Hello there. Today I'm going to be smoking a couple of pork butts. And behind me here you can see those pork butts sitting on my stove. I will be prepping them in just a few minutes, but I want to show you the barbecue grill that I'm going to smoke these on. And yes, I said barbecue grill, not smoker. So let me show you. This is my regular Weber gas grill. But I have modified it so that I can smoke my pork butts on this grill. So under the grill there are 3 heat deflectors, but there's only 2 burners. There's a burner here and a burner here and a heat deflector here that's just empty underneath. They do make 3 burner versions of this that actually has a heater under it, but mine doesn't. So let me show you what I've done. Underneath this heat deflector is a smoker tube, and a friend of mine gave me this, but you can buy them on Amazon for about $12 to $15. It's just a stainless steel tube that you fill with smoker pellets. And in order to hold it here, I've cut a couple of pieces of rebar. It's hard to film here in this dark, but I've got a couple of small pieces of rebar and then a couple of long pieces of rebar that go all the way across the grill. So I set those down there, and the smoker tube, once I filled it with charcoal bits and lit it, go right there. And then these 2 end pieces just sit there, and those hold up the center grill piece, or the center cover, so that the smoke smokes underneath it. This smoker tube will smoke for about 5 hours. So I'll show you how I'm lighting it, but I have to go in and put some rub on those pork butts, and then I'll bring them back out here and show them to you. So I have my rub applied to my pork butts, and I'm going to let them sit here for a few minutes while I go get the barbecue grill running. It's really bright, so it's going to be hard to film, but you can see that I have filled the smoker tube with pellets. These are just standard pellets you can get at any hardware store. And I'm going to light it. Normally I tell you to use a propane torch or something like that to light them. I just lay it over the burner on the grill, light it on high, and you probably can't hardly see those flames, but I'm going to let this sit here for about 10 minutes until those get really well lit and burning, and then I'll bring you back and show you what to do next. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes, and you can see that my wood pellets have lit and they're burning nicely by themselves. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the gas, and you can see that they continue to burn all by themselves. It is very important that you do not let that continue to burn, but blow those out. So I'm going to pull these things out, and it's nice and cool because it's only hot up at the top. So I blew those out, and I'm going to set it off to the side here while I reinstall my rebar chunks to hold it. Now I set that up there with the smoke coming out the back. It probably doesn't really make any difference which way you orient it. The main reason I do it that way is there's a little cross burner back here that adds a little extra heat, and that'll make sure that it stays burning. Okay, I just put the heat diffusers on, and you can see the smoke coming out of there, and it will continue to smoke like that for about 5 hours, if I haven't said that already. So now I'll just put my grills on, and when I smoke my pork butts on here, I only grill on one side. So I started off, I like to heat from the right hand side. So I start both of them, and then I turn the left side off, and I turn the right side to almost minimum. And that will produce a temperature in here of about 275. And I'll show it to you when it comes up to temperature. I'm not going to wait for it to come up to temperature, though. I'm just going to put my butts on right now and start the smoking process. Okay, you can see the pork butts sitting on the grill. As I said, only the right-hand side is heating, so we're getting indirect heat. So we're going to bake this in about a 275 grill with that smoke coming out of there. In a couple of hours, I'll start spritzing it with apple cider vinegar to give it a little extra tang and keep them moist. So I'll smoke them for about 2 hours, and then I will start spritzing them with apple cider vinegar. And in about 3 hours, I'll turn it over so that it smokes and cooks on both sides evenly. And in about 5 hours, the smoke will stop, and I will wrap the things up and then cook them until it gets to an internal temperature of 205 degrees or something like that. And then I'll let them cool off and pull them apart, and we'll show you what it looks like. If you look at the smoker, you can barely see any smoke coming out of it. There is some. I looked at the temperature, and it's a little too low. I want it up at 275, and it's about 225. So I'm going to go ahead and crank up the gas a little bit, and I'll check it in about another 15 minutes. I'm trying to see if I can find a spot where you can see the smoke coming out. Occasionally, you'll see a little puff of smoke coming out. It is smoking, but like I said, this actually runs really clean. I'll actually open it up for you. Just so you can see. There you can see a whiff of smoke maybe. But yeah, it's working fine. So I'll get it up to my 275 temperature, and then I'll just leave it cook for a couple hours. It's been about an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes, something like that, since I started up. I'm going to go ahead and spritz the pork with some apple cider vinegar. Like I said, I like the tang of it, and it keeps it a little moisture. I've got my temperature controlled nicely. I did roll it out into the sun because it wasn't coming up to temperature, and I had to turn the gas up a little bit. The sun actually adds another 15-20 degrees to the grill, so might as well take the free heat. Anyway, I'm going to spritz this real quick. You can see the pork butts are looking nice. And this is the first spritzing, and I'll do this about every half hour. My temperature is still holding nicely. I'm going to spritz these again and then turn them over. Looks a little dark because of the background being so bright, but hopefully you can see that. Anyway, I'm going to need both hands to turn them over, so I'm going to put the phone down and I'll show you the bottom side in a bit. Turned them over and spritzed both sides. I actually added a thermometer in so I can watch the internal temperature. We're up at 223 right now, so we'll go up to at least, we're up at 123, not 223, and we'll bring it up to about 265, or when the smoke stops, and then we'll wrap them. And we'll put them back on this grill until they get a little hotter. Okay, my smoke has stopped. My temperature has gotten up to almost 164. So I'm going to pull these off the grill, put them on that pan, take them in the house, wrap them in foil, and then bring them back out here, put the thermometer back on, and let them keep on heating until they get up to about 205. I've removed the one dirty grill that they were grilling on. I put them on the other side. I got a little smoke coming off of the fat that dripped down, but that'll burn off. And now I'll just let this run. It's till it gets up to about 200 degrees, 205, something like that, and then I'll take it off. Well, the little pork butt is done. I cut the strings off and it's falling apart, so you can just see it's just perfectly tender, nice and stuff. And it's a little too hot to pull yet, but I'll be doing that in a few minutes. The larger butt is still out on the grill. It's going to take about another 20 minutes to come up to temp. But yeah, so this is it. This definitely is a way to smoke pork butts on a regular Weber gas grill. So thanks for watching, guys.